Hi YouTube. So it's four little ducks, and I am so sorry. I have to be outside because my two little ones are sleeping. And sorry, it was a cat. So I am gonna bring up a subject. Sorry, I just got out of the shower too, so I'm like, yeah. Anyways, I went to a conference, and it was for some hours that I need for something else. But anyways, we talked about this. It's written by Julia Child. Woo, no. Julia Cook. And contributing editor is Lisa Crane, illustrated by Michelle Hazelwood Hyde. But it is called I'm Not Scared, I'm Prepared. This, if you haven't seen this, okay, then this is the purpose of this book, is to enhance the concepts taught in an ALICE training. So it's called ALICE training, is the one I went to, Institute, and make them applicable, sorry, I can't say that, to children of all ages in a non-fearful way by using this book along with Julia Cook's I'm Not Scared Because I'm Prepared storybook. So there's a storybook involved. Children can develop a better understanding of what needs to be done if ever encountered a dangerous someone. Unfortunately, in the world we now live in, we all must ask ourselves the essential question: what options do I have for survival if I ever find myself in a violent intruder event? Okay, so I went to this way before we just had the two last killings. So we're homeschoolers, and whoever's watching this, if you are not a homeschooler, you know, your children are probably learning ALICE in public schools. It's what I'm understanding that is what they're teaching. Sorry, teaching kids nowadays. So I'm going to do this because the bugs are going to start attacking me. All right. So ALICE, I guess I should tell you what that is. Sorry. ALICE is called Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. So what it is it's trying to teach children in a non-fearful way that if somebody, and I think of this as a homeschooling environment, we're on a field trip, we go to the zoo, or we're running errands, we go to Walmart, we go to Home Depot, wherever we go, and we ultimately, some madman with some agenda for some godforsaken reason decides that he wants to light up the place. I'm military trained. I can tell you straight up, in all the wars I've been to, when you're putting bullets down range and they're getting returned back at you, you don't stop and think about anything. It's fight or flight. That is how we are designed. We're designed like that by God. Fight or flight. Okay? My whole thing is that, unfortunately, in the world we live in today, I am teaching my children that if we go to Walmart or we go to somewhere in public and we need to know this, this is what we're going to do. You know, we're going to stop, look, and listen. And the biggest thing is when we stop, and right now I am teaching my little ones, stop, look, and listen. You know, stop, look at mommy, listen to what she has to say, and let's look at what, look, listen to me. And I'm teaching that now. And that has nothing, I taught all my kids that. All of them. That has nothing to do with it. My philosophy is that I just want my kids to, when I say stop, I want them to look at me and I want them to listen to whatever I have to say. But that is the emphasis of Alex. Stop, look, and listen. Stop where you're at. Look around you. If you hear the gunfire to your right and you see a hole in the left, go to the left. But it also says, in a lockdown, be quiet. Listen to directions. Stay out of the line of sight of the door. But do not hide in a closet. Be ready to move and evacuate if the intruder comes into the room. That's hard to teach a young child. And it breaks my heart as a homeschooling mom, or as a mom, period, that I have to teach my child. If somebody comes in with a gun to hurt you, you got to be very, very quiet. And you have to stay where you're not cornered. You can't corner yourself. So you need to find a spot where you can move again to get out of their way. That's sad. That's sad. But it's the reality. It's reality today. Evacuation is the best defense. The idea is to teach your kids to get to the door. Get out of the building, get away, get as far away as you can. If you can keep moving, keep moving. Don't stop. But if you're in a room already and there's one exit out, the idea is how to, if you're old enough or if the adult is there, can barricade the room to protect you, move away from that door, but close to the window. The idea is to get out. So you're trying to teach this to kids. This is really designed for third and up. But they said that they're starting with preschoolers. They're trying to teach preschoolers how to duck and hide from some madmen, or how to grab onto their mommy or their daddy. And, and especially parents who have multiple children, it's like, how do you grab them? How can you protect them in a whole bunch? So that's the thing, is that you can't. So you have to grab what you can and hope that another child can grab another one. And, you ultimately create a family unit of grab your buddy and you hang on and you get out. The biggest thing is about critical thinking skills. And so that is the reason why they try with the preschool, is about teaching them critical thinking skills. We all try to do it. Puzzles. Puzzles was the biggest example they gave, but mazes, and teaching a child, what patterns, So I eat breakfast, I sit at a table, I pour my milk in my cereal. Well, which one came first? Well, you probably sat at the table, then you poured your milk, then you ate your breakfast. So, and those are critical thinking skills. And that's what they're talking about. I'm not trying to make this too long, so I'm going to wrap this up real quick. But, So they do try to definitely, upper elementary, have a developed critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and should take a much more active role in Alice than children in lower elementary grades. They say to teach all aspects of Alice except the swarm technique, which is grabbing onto an appendage of an intruder and using the body weight to immobilize him. We should not be teaching our children to attack the intruder. They should be running. If the intruder is coming this way, you go this way. You know, these are children. If an adult wants to take on the intruder, that's the adult's job. And that's what they're very like, no. You teach your children to go. Get out. Special needs students are planned ahead of the time, given their individualized situation. If a student cannot evacuate, plans must be made to fortify his or her location. So, and that, as a homeschooling mom, if you have a special needs child who cannot think logically or cannot move mobily, it is helping you to figure out how to maneuver within your environment in the case of this happening. And I mean, I'm just heartbroken that we have to sit here and have this conversation. That, you know, as a parent, if you have a special needs child and you're walking into Walmart to do your business and, you know, mind your own, and then all of a sudden somebody shoots and you're like, what was that plan? You know what I mean? I got to grab, you know, this child, and I need to make sure my other 9 kids are, you know, whatever. And yeah, wow. Wow. So teachers need to decide what is in the child's best interest, and plans should be made ahead of time. This is not a one-size-fits-all answer to the situation involving a student with special needs. School must consider each case individually. As a homeschooling parent, mom, you have to individualize each child, and you have to assess each child, and you have to give each child their due diligence. Education and empowerment are the key of preparation and relieving fear. So that's our job. We need to relieve their fear. Kids are taught in realistic terms what to do in case of danger. Alice is much like a fire drill or a tornado drill. Its purpose is to prepare students for life inside and out of the classroom. Now, on the same note, and I'm sorry, I don't want this to go on and on and on, but fire drills and what is it? Tornado drills. Okay, I'm from the South. All right, I'm in Tornado Alley. I'll tell you, during elementary years, middle school years, whenever there was a fire drill or a tornado drill, us kids thought it was a joke. It was just the time to get out of class so we could, oh, great, now we got to get in the line, and oh, great, we got to go stand outside, and you know it's hot, and you know, we're kids, okay? Yes, in an event, something happened, guess what? That whole school's going to like, kids are, because they didn't take it seriously during their drill. And then they panic. But even if they took it seriously during their drill, they're still going to panic. Kids panic. It's who they are. That's just, we panic. We're adults. And my situation, I'm trained in that, and I would panic. Because even I'm medically trained. And I will tell you what, if one of my kids started choking, I'm going to be like, oh my God, how do I do the Heimlich? Oh my God. Because that is the reason why medically cannot treat their own. Because we've lost our minds when it comes to our own. So, you're going to have to repeat this without creating fear. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. How do you do this without creating fear? The Alice concepts are the same at school, home, the mall, the after-school programs, restaurants, church, or any other place the child goes. We are teaching a lifelong safety skill. And there's a frog somewhere. Sorry. So, like, it tells you to have a Go Bucket kit. Go Buckets can be augmented by every child, also possessing a small Go Pack. So, I mean, that's something at a home you can do, a little Go Pack. They offer ideas on what to bring. They say to lay out your classroom, which I know this sounds weird, but because I do foster care, or I did foster care, we have a map of the house, and we use it for our fire drills. We use it for our tornado drills. We use those things. We have not done tornado drills just because I don't want to take my kids down to the basement. Yeah, I'm being lazy. I just don't want to take them down to the basement. I don't want to introduce them to the basement yet, because then it might be a fun place for them to go, and I just don't want to deal with that. So, we have not had tornado yet, but anyways, it does talk about like having a cup by your door if you're a teacher, and having the number and the name of the student. So every day that student pulls that stick, puts it in there. So when you're trying to get those students out, whatever be the reason, you can just grab that cup. You don't have to grab a book. You don't have to grab anything else. You know, you just grab that cup because that cup is there. You grab it, you run with it, you get your kids out, and then you say, okay, I had 30 students, now I only have 28. I need to find 2 kids, and you know which 2 kids to find. They also talk about games that you can play. You know, the book is very, very informative, and it's very, very well written for children. So I definitely recommend it. I'm trying to think. Sticker with doing the so an optional activity. Let's take a walk. So they talk about finding a special meeting place. Exit awareness. How many exits do you see? What are some other ways we could get out if we couldn't get to that exit? You know, doing a lot of critical thinking, but also not over-analyzing everything. Having kids draw their own, you know, special meeting place, or, you know, have the kids get involved with that. A to-do list. The wolf gets into our classroom. So this is what happens. They call the bad guy the wolf. I'm kind of upset about that, because then wolves get a bad name. I don't want my kids to be scared of a wolf. We don't live where wolves live, so they're never going to see one. But when we go to the zoo, I don't want them to be scared of the wolf. But anyways, so they do call it a wolf. You know, they talk about reviewing, and then out of the room explain to the student at the time when the volunteer comes in, want the students to throw their last paper wad and then move to another location of the room. So the idea is to run away from the wolf. Run in a zigzag. You know, it's got a matching game in here. It's gifts. Yeah. So anyways, it just goes on and on about alert, lockdown, inform, counter, evacuate. Stop, look, and listen. So, and then it's got where, you know, tell me all about it. So, in order to fully understand knowledge, you must be able to explain it to others correctly. Choose 5 people and let them read over the Alice info sheet. Allow the person you ask questions. So pretty much what you're doing is you're making sure what you're teaching, what you're reading, when you tell it to somebody else, they should concept it before you go and talk to your kids. I don't know. It's just a sad situation, a sad subject that I'm having to talk about. I wish I didn't have to bring this subject up. I wish we could be talking about the new curriculum that I bought. Yeah. Sorry. There's so many other things I would love to talk about. But I did want to bring this up. I have not seen it on YouTube, and we need to prepare our children. And we need to do it in the best way we know how to. Christian, non-Christian, whatever you are, we live in that world today. And it has nothing to do with gun owners, non-gun owners. It has nothing to do with politics. It has, yes, all that is up there, but that's all on the adult level, not the child's level. We are talking about preparing children if somebody decides to be stupid that day. And I'm going to call it stupid because that's what it is. Okay? I'm not trying to get political in this. I'm just trying to say that what I'm talking about is for children. For them to be able to do what they need to do to be safe, to get out. And that the adult who is responsible for those children knows how to get those children out in whatever capacity they could do. So, I guess that is it. I'm thinking my little one is up. All right, you guys have a great one. If you like, hit the like button. Thank you.